what inspired you to go into the directions of the pieces that you drew? Brian?
Well, for me, it is about the anniversary.
Mm.
I when Lucasfilm announced, that we're having Star Wars Celebration this year, I realized it would be the 40th anniversary of the 1977 release of Star Wars, and I knew kind of in my heart and in my head that I had to do something for that to kind of like my love letter to Star Wars and all that it's meant to me over the years. So even though I've seen the film a bunch of times, I decided to go back and rewatch it just back to back several times and really immerse myself. And I kept coming back to Luke Skywalker in his X-wing in the trench run
Yeah.
as the thing that was kind of pulling me in. That maybe I wanted to draw something about that. And I kind of do some sketches, and I watch the film again and again, and I finally have this sort of like this spark, this aha moment when I realize that we don't ever see on screen. Well, we do see the X-wing with Luke, and we see like Darth Vader and the TIE fighters behind him, and then there's that great moment when Han Solo shows up and rescues Luke.
Yeah.
And I love those two moments. And I realized when I was watching the film again that you don't actually see the X-wing, the TIE fighters, and the Millennium Falcon all in one shot. It happens in like 2 or 3 shots in the film.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the impetus where I said, oh, I want to create something that puts all of that into one composed image that we've never seen before. So hopefully it feels like immediately familiar and reminisce, it makes you nostalgic for Star Wars, but at the same time, it's something new and different that it's a little bit that we haven't exactly seen that way before. So that was sort of the jumping off point for this illustration and was what I guess motivated me to go down this path.
I just love how dynamic it is. The poster that you've drawn, I just love it. It's just got a real 3D type sort of vibe to it. And
Thank you.
yeah, it's just a great, amazing piece of art. I would love to have one of those on my wall. No, it's just a great poster. So
yeah, I was really trying to get that idea that like the X-wing is flying out of the movie and like into your home.
Yeah, it's great. I really really liked that. I was like, took my breath away actually when I first saw it. I thought, oh wow, this is really good. So cool.
Oh, thank you so much.
And you drew it on an iPad, is that correct?
Yeah, so I start all.
Wow.
I have a sketchbook that I carry around, and so everything starts out as a pencil drawing.
Yeah.
And then when I'm ready to make my final illustration, I go to iPad. I have an iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil, and I really like this application called Adobe Draw. It's really basic. It just has like 4 different brushes and an eraser, so you have to draw very much like you would in just a paper sketchbook. But it has the ability to use layers, so I can draw very, very much this natural media way, but then I can export it for screen printing when I'm done. So for me, it's the best of both worlds that I get just the amount of technology I need without something like encumbering me or getting in the way.
Wow. It's just amazing now what you can do, isn't it? Just unheard of even 5 years ago. So the process just changed.
Oh, yeah, like you said, it's crazy just how fast I try to do art. I mean, I've done art on the iPad for years, but like you said, what I was doing 5 years ago and what I can do now, it's night and day. It's crazy.
No, it's awesome.
Oh, unbelievable. So Joe, you chose Rogue One with Jyn, Cassian, K2SO on Jedha. What was your process in deciding that was the avenue you were going to take with your print this year?
Well, as with Celebration, every celebration, getting into the art show is pretty competitive, and I knew because by the time we needed to submit our concepts for Celebration, I knew that the movie wasn't even out yet, but I think all at that point we had were trailers, which I was really excited by the trailers for Rogue One, and also doing other work for Lucasfilm, I was privy to some of the materials behind the scenes, so I was really jazzed about the movie. Everything I was seeing up to that point, I was like, wow, this is gonna be a great movie. This is gonna be awesome. I really want to do something for Rogue One because I know not many artists will probably tackle it because the movie hadn't. It was. I think our concepts were due to Lucasfilm in early December. The movie wasn't coming out till mid to late December. I think December 18th or something. So at that point, I thought, well, maybe my chances of getting accepted into the art show, because it's not a guarantee per se. It's a judged process, because hundreds of artists submit their interest to be a part of Celebration. So I thought, well, if I'm going to maybe get an edge on all these incredibly talented artists, maybe I should go after something and tackle something that not too many people are really going to do. And so I thought, well, Rogue One looks really exciting. I know I'm going to love the movie. I already love the trailers. I figured I would do something Rogue One related, and that would maybe help me stand out in the eyes of the judges of the Disney and ILM and Lucasfilm judges, everyone that was going to be looking over submissions. And luckily it worked out. There's really not too many Rogue One concepts that were approved for the art show. I think there's me and a few other artists that actually tackled that movie for their piece. And I'm really glad I did, because I love the movie. And so that once the movie came out, I was incredibly excited to go back and go, okay, now I know exactly, how to paint this. I know what I'm doing. I could I took a little artistic license with the concept, but in terms of the exact positioning of the characters and whatnot. Yeah. But I wanted to really just kind of treat it like almost, kind of like a movie poster, but not, kind of like a pinup, but also I wanted to tell a story, but keep some flexibility within that. I really just wanted to spotlight Jyn Erso, because I was already in love with the character before the movie had even come out, and that was sort of my thinking in terms of really wanting to do something Rogue One related, because I knew the fans were going to dig it. I knew I was already loving it, so that's what inspired me.
There again, like Brian's piece, I love the depth of your image there as well, with the stormtroopers in the foreground and K2SO on the back, and just Jyn going to town with the blaster. And it just looks so photorealistic. I really had to zoom it up and look really closely. It's just an amazing piece.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a lot of painting. There was definitely a photo reference involved.
So that shot's, that's all painted. That you're painting. Yeah, that's all with a brush, or?
Yeah, it's all digitally painted in Photoshop primarily. A little bit of Painter, the Painter program. A little bit of Painter in there for some textures and stuff, but it's primarily all Photoshop.
Wow.
And some of the digital brushes that I use to render those characters.
Wow, that's just amazing.